Welcome to this week, Creative Financing with JB, man. We back again. Great news this week. I told you we ain't gonna fail y'all again. So we coming through. Got a guest right now. I know y'all gonna want to steal him, but y'all gotta hold on here. He's just gonna give you a little bit so we can figure this stuff out. But man, I got my man Rishard Hudson. He's an account executive, and we're gonna talk about some money. You know, we always discuss about we getting to the table, people not having enough money, trying to find down payment assistance programs. The down payment assistance program might only be good here, but it's not good here. Oh, you got to go to the county and try to find another whole program that fits you, and you stuck in the middle. Now you stuck, you trying to figure out, Dad, where do I go? What do I need to do? How is it going to work for me? What's the benefit of me trying to get this house? The benefit of it is today we're going to talk about 50 states, forget the county, forget the jurisdiction, that we're going to offer down payment assistance for. Something else good. Conventional down payment assistance. No, I didn't say FHA, y'all. I said conventional down payment assistance. We're going to hit it hard from it here. But I want y'all to open your eyes, understand what's happening. So we got some new horizons. That's why we talking about creative financing right now. He's probably one of the few banks that probably do this that we can find and that be able to accommodate the needs up there. It's not only 3.5%, but it's up to 5%. 5%. But I'm not going to steal a thunder. I'm going to let Rashid give you a little bit about him. And then we just going to open the floor up. I'm going to start asking some questions. Y'all going to chime in. We're going to have a good time. We're going to check it out. But Rashid, Mr. Hudson, go ahead. Tell them a little bit about yourself and how you got in this mortgage game that's going to make you the player of tomorrow.
Hey, I like it. Johnny, I appreciate you for, having me here. It means a lot. Thank you. So really how I got into the mortgage industry, actually a friend who's a broker partner of mine actually texted me one day while he was in college, and he said, "Hey, I have a mortgage opportunity for you." And back then I didn't know what mortgages was. I really had no idea what mortgages was, but I was all for it, Mm-hmm. So we ended up going to a company that we started doing mortgages at, and I got a feel for what it was like to be in the mortgage industry, So, thanks to my friend who was, like I said, it's now my broker partner. Now I'm here, at GoStart. GoStart, gave me an opportunity to become an account executive, The owner of our company, Dan Milstein, he once was a broker like you. He was actually one of the #1 brokers in America. And, now he has GoStar. And, the point of us having our wholesale channels because he understands what it's like to be in your shoes. So like the products you were mentioning, like our FHA DPA, which is a phenomenal product, you only need minimum FICO 600 to get that done. Right.
Wow. And that 600.
You only need 600. Right. So with that program, you'll get 3.5% in down payment assistance. OK, and you can get an additional 1.5% for closing costs. So that's 5% in down payment assistance you can have. And like I said, you need as low as a 600 credit score to qualify for that program. And there's no income limits. You don't have no income limits to get that program done.
Wow. And y'all heard that 600 credit score, everybody said 580, we can do the loan. 600, you getting down payment assistance. A lot of companies, 640, 620, 660. We got to do before we get that down payment assistance. But we're talking about a 600 credit score. We're talking about somebody that just reached over the threshold of 580 coming in, and we're talking about giving you some assistance for for closing costs and your down payment. You can't miss this opportunity because we know we're in hard times right now. It's hard to say because people's renting. They're paying a lot for rent. They're trying to save money while they're doing this. And they run into this episode of saying, yo, am I going to have enough to close? Am I going to be able to really fund this project that I have sitting forward here? But most of all, is home ownership really a reality for me? And you're probably sitting back saying, nah, probably not right now because this is what's happening. So, Rashid, just tell me a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that FHA down payment assistance,
Of course.
600 score, and then and break it down for us because people might get a little confused.
Of course. So this DPA program, it's going to be done just like a regular FHA loan. Okay. So when you're qualifying for a FHA loan, if you have a 600 credit score, you already checked the list for this program. Okay. So a little bit what's going to happen is once you qualify for this program, we're going to give you here at GoStar, we're going to give you 3.5% for the down payment. Okay. Now, with that, you'll be able to use that 3.5% for a down payment. Okay. So you won't have to come out of pocket for a down payment. We'll cover the down payment for you. Okay. And if you need closing costs, we'll give you an additional 1.5%, which is that 5% program. And you'll be able to cover it with closing costs. And I think what's special about this program here at GoStar is we will get it done very quick. We've closed this as fast as 15 days. Okay. So you'll get your down payment in just 15 days. As long as you qualify with the 600 credit score, you're ready to go. You'll have your down payment in 15 days.
Wow. 15 days, that's 2 weeks, folks. That's not 30 days forward. So you got to remember, you submitting your documents up front. We're registering the loan. We're putting it in a portal so we can send out closing disclosures. So we can initial closing disclosures so we can get that done and understand that this is going to all work through circumvent the whole process of what we're doing. We're going to be able to fund the loan, get it closed, and you're going to be in your new home for this stuff. And if you tell us, Rashid, how long have this program been going on? I know people are going to be like, this is new, this never heard of. Is this just something that's new that just came out, or how long have y'all been doing this?
So that's a great question. So we've had this program for a little over a couple of years. Okay. We've been very successful with this program. We've helped a lot of, borrowers get into this home. One thing I want to mention, Johnny, that's very interesting with this product is your borrowers, they could also do a TBD, right? Now, I'm sure you could explain to them what the TBD is. But for example, let's say your borrower hasn't found a home. Okay. If they haven't found a home, they could still get this done with us as a TBD, and we'll fully underwrite their file. Okay, so now when your borrower goes to the realtor, they're fully underwritten, which is just as good as cash. And we'll get that done here at GoStar.
Stuff and we got the question, is it available for conventional as well? Yes, we are, boy. I'm glad that popped up because we was coming to get you right there. Lawrence, we coming to get you right there. It's conventional as well, and I'm gonna let him break that down because a lot of times we don't hear about conventional giving no down payment assistance. When you say conventional, we think of the mindset is the people got the money, they got the excellent credit score, they have all that stuff in order. They don't need no money. Fact of the matter is conventional buyers need down payment assistance too. They maintain their credit. They probably have not had enough money saved to get in that house that they need because they probably need 3 or 5% down, whichever one, however you structure that loan accordingly. And they need that. So Rishard, tell us what's the difference in the conventional and the FHA, or how are they similar? I'm gonna let you break that down.
Thank you. So with the conventional, that is 4% in down payment assistance or closing costs that you will have. Okay. Now, how that one works, that one is a 660 FICO to qualify for that program. So if your borrower has a 660 FICO, they already qualify for this program. Okay. And how it's going to work is they're going to, of course, have their conventional loan. And then on the second mortgage, they're going to have 4% in down payment assistance. Or if your borrower wanted to do, 3% in down payment assistance or 1% and closing costs, they will have that option with this 4% conventional program. And that is something we've closed as fast as 15 days as well. We're very fast with closing our DPA programs.
Wow. And see, that's a good point there, because it's equivalent to the FHA. The difference in that you can structure, does Gold Star have marketing materials so we can target renters? I'm pretty sure we can. And Rishard, you can let us know if we have something available for them.
Of course. So actually here at Gold Star, we do in our marketing, in our portal with your login credentials, you do have access to a marketing portal where we have hundreds of flyers where you can edit them. You know, once you put your name once, you know, your email address, phone number, it'll populate for all the hundreds of flyers that we have to market towards your audience. So that is something you can get done here with us at Gold Star.
Yeah, and that's perfect. You know, marketing is so key in its
important
industry too for it. And that's a great question that we had to ask, you know, that we are able to go ahead and make that happen. So you can structure your loan on conventional side,
correct,
3% down or 5% down. You're still getting 4%. If you do 3% down, and then you have your down payment covered, and then you have 1% going towards your closing costs, which is still
just like
saving you and everything. It can be borrow paid, lender paid, or both. Patrick,
you know,
Patrick,
I like
that's a great question. That's a great
I was going to say,
question.
I like that question. You know, here at Gold Star, a lot of our products, like our DPAs, you can make lender paid and borrower paid comp on that. And the reason why we have it set up to where you can make lender paid comp on that is because we want you to be able to make money on these programs. Okay. So that allows you to get that done. We will allow you to do lender paid and borrower paid comp to get that done with us, whether it's for the FHA DPA or 3.5% or 5%, or whether you're going to do conventional with the 4% in down payment assistance. You can do lender paid or borrower paid comp.
Wow, and that's amazing. That's a great question, Patrick, and stuff. We refi products. You guys do have to offer. So we're asking about refi products that you guys have to offer as well.
You know, and you know, I'm glad you mentioned refis because one thing that's very interesting about our FHA DPA is we have it as repayable. Okay. So the borrower is going to make payments on that down payment assistance program right when they make the first payment. Okay. Now, when rates come down, right, your borrowers made payments on this program. When they go to refinance or sell the property, they're only going to have to pay back that remainder that's left on that DPA program. So when rates do come down, your borrower will be able to refi out of that FHA DPA, and they'll only have to pay the remainder to get that done, which is something that's very popular that we've seen happen. So we've had partners who've gotten this DPA done for the borrower and refinanced them a year later. We've had it happen.
And you can log in to that. Lawrence, you can touch bases with Rishard, and he'll get you some credentials and stuff for that. Reach out to him. You know, that's another one of our EMC folks right there, one of our counterparts in the arrangements, to say the least, to make this work. So we want to take into understanding for all those that's not in lenders out here, that's not brokers and stuff. I just want to explain a little something to you with this, that you have to understand the borrower and lender paid compensation. It might change a little bit on your rates and stuff, but it's good. For those that don't understand what we mean by lender and borrower paid compensation, is I like to use this scenario that we're taking the amount of money you paying over the time of the loan, and paying it up front, or you pay it through the rate. So it's one of the two things here. So people always say lender paid, borrower paid, or you see that there, you're going to pay it now or later. So it doesn't make a difference. That's why when you see different companies with different interest rates and stuff like that, that's the reasoning for that, behind that, and what's going on. but we're talking about a program here that's a game changer in this market right now, because times are hard. Times are really getting to a point where, you know, people don't have the money to get this stuff to close, and they don't have the money to really put up the whole down payment. They done saved some, but they haven't
Right.
saved enough for it and stuff. And you know, I had a lady said, "Man, I got $12,000, you know," but I'm like, 12,000 might not cover a $300,000 house, you know. So
Money is
we
not
need a
paying
little
attention.
cushion, right? Right. We need a cushion for it and stuff. And tell us about this repayable. Do we have to wait 12 months, 6 months, 18 months? I know that's a question out there as well.
Yeah, so with this program, it is repayable, so it is going to be amortized for 10 years. Okay. So on the second mortgage, the rate is going to be 2% higher. So whatever the rate is on the first for this program, it's going to be 2% higher on the second, repayable, and it's going to be amortized for 10 years.
Perfect, perfect and stuff. So is there a soft second on both FHA and conventional? That's correct.
Correct. Ye-
That is
Yes.
correct, Lawrence. That is correct. It's going to be a soft second on one. The benefit of
And
it is, go ahead.
I was going to say one thing about the soft seconds is we will take care of that for you at Gosa. So we'll take care of setting up that second mortgage for you. The only thing we require our partners to do is just upload the file twice, reissue credit, request docs, and we'll take care of setting up that second mortgage for you. That's not something that you will have to take care of.
Right, right, for it and stuff. And it makes sense to have that tool in place for you, for all you partners out there. You know, you have to go ahead, reach out to Rishard, get your credentials for it if you're with EMC, and he'll be able to discuss that with you for it and get it done. But it's for those folks out there that's looking, and you probably wondering about that money you need for closing costs and um,
Down
for
payment.
down payment. Let's have that conversation. You know, you can always give me a call. I'm at 302-312-9860. So we can touch bases, make sure that we are aware of how the program's going to work, what it is it going to fit our needs, and go from there. I always recommend, and people say, "Oh man, I want to come there and I won't need no money once I get this." You're going to need some money for it, because you're still going to need to put a deposit down. When you're under contract, you're going to need money for your appraisal here as well. We're just trying to provide assistance in this whole parameter of what we're doing. We're not saying we're covering your whole closing costs here with it, but it's so neat to know that we have a 5% in conventional for it, which is 660 is a good score that they're using for conventional lending, to get this done, to make sure that, you can still qualify. A lot of conventional folks know that, rule of thumb that they said 620, you can qualify for conventional. I never did it in my life. I don't know whoever had, I take my hat off to you and go from there. Home inspection for it and stuff on that as well. So tell me, Rishard, so do they have to go through the home buyers certification, or what type of certification they have to go through for that
So
program?
they for that program, they will have to take the Fannie Mae course for that program. But I want to mention for this FHA DPA program that we're discussing, you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer to get this done. So if you're not a first-time home buyer, you can still qualify for this program and get this done. Okay.
So you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You heard that. You can go out here if it's your second, third home, and you need that assistance. It's here for you as well, for you to go ahead and utilize. So don't think this is isolated situation. We got a lot of buyers out there in homes now that might need a little extra push because they want that bigger home. forward and go from. He just said it's no income limits on this
No
as
income
well,
limit.
which a lot of DPAs, you got income limits, income guidelines, so that should help a lot of our borrowers out with this program as well, so we can be able to make sure that everybody can get in. It has to go DU approval. It
Yeah.
has to go DU approval. Rashad?
Yeah, it has to go DU approval. So as long as you're able to get that AUS approval, we'll get that done. There's no max DTI restriction. So as long as you get the AUS approval, we'll get this done for you. You got to remember, like, this is going to be done just like a regular FHA first lien, correct? So when we go to set up that second mortgage for you that has the down payment assistance, whether it's for the conventional or the FHA, we'll get that taken care of for you.
That's perfect. So current homeowners who are up or downsized can do this as well. That's correct, Lawrence.
Correct.
Anybody that's out there that's owning a home, somebody downsizing and need that funds, they can utilize the program.
Correct.
We got some partners out there that probably know some folks out there looking to do this, and this would be an excellent opportunity for it. But most of all, it's in all 50 states. We're not limited here. We have a 50 state radius. Is the second included in the DTI, or is it a income limit?
It's included.
It's
in
included.
The DTI.
It's included in the DTI. So we will add that in to make sure that they cover under that. We know if they over that 50% threshold, we're gonna go on, flip them to FHA and keep going from there. Forward and stuff. So we got to monitor that debt to income ratio. And I talked about that a few shows ago about managing our finances a little better, so we know what bills we have, what our money's looking like when it's coming in, so we know how that debt to income ratio. And I want to break that down for some of our listening audience might not understand that. So when we break it down on that front end, it's going to be your gross income divided into your new mortgage amount. That's going to give you your front end ratio. Your back end is going to be all your bills along with that mortgage on that back end to include there for that. And once you add that up, you're going to be in that income limit. It's no income limits on this program, as he said, for it and stuff. So that's a game changer right there for it. And Rishard is amazing and very knowledgeable. Yeah, we want to take our hats off to him for having that, because that is a big part of that. That's why we have him here for folks out here to hear it firsthand. You're getting it right there from horse's mouth. And Rishard, what brought this about for the company? I mean, did they see that it was a need, or?
Well, like Dan Milstein, he was the -- originator back in the early 2000s. Okay. So when he was a broker, he understood what brokers needed. So this was a program that he's seen that would help, borrowers out there, because everyone still needs a home. The rates may be high, but everyone still needs a home. So with this program, he put it out there because, most people, if they have a minimum FICO of 600, they check the list for this. There's no income limit. So now your borrower doesn't have to worry about income limits to get this done. A lot of people have over a 600 credit score. They just need a little assistance. So with this program, it's a very popular program here at Gold Star. We've funded a ton of loans with this program. It's excellent. And, borrowers are getting the assistance they need, and they're getting it quick. They're getting it in 2 weeks, like you said, so that's what's excellent about this program. It makes a lot of borrowers happy.
And Rishard, tell me some of the hiccups we might see where people don't understand where they uploading the loans, something they need to be mindful of when they're doing this.
One thing I would say to be mindful of when you're when uploading the loan is really just submitting the loan into underwriting. Uploading a loan is pretty easy. To request initial disclosures, and once you request docs, those will go out. But the most important thing that I say can cause a hiccup is not getting that loan submitted into underwriting. So I tell all my partners, just stay in contact with me. If you need me, you give me a call. I'll make sure that we're on track, because time is important. I believe that's what's made me a successful account executive, is saving my partners time. When I save them time, they're able to bring in more business. So once my partners see the results show.
Tell us about manual underwrites.
So we do manual underwrites, but only for government loans. We do not do them for conforming loans. So a government underwrite is something we will get done here at Gold Star. And I'll even put the guidelines. I'll put my email here in the link where people can reach out to me. And I'll send our guidelines on the manual underwrites on any of the products, the conventional 4% DPA program that we have. And then also our no down payment loan. That's the 3.5% or the 5% in down payment assistance. Well, that is the FHA DPA program that we have. So we call it the no down payment, because you don't need a down payment. We'll cover the down payment for you.
So do y'all do USDA loans?
Yes, we do. We do USDA loans. We do all conforming and government loans. We just don't do non-QM or DSCR. So if it fits the conforming and government box and follows Fannie Freddie guidelines, we're getting those loans done all day. We specialize in the purchase business. We close a lot of purchase loans. That's our bread and butter.
Okay, perfect. So we can you send out the program details and we can share with our borrowers. We'll definitely get that out to you for it. So our partners at EMC will be able to share that with their borrowers throughout. This is going to be a game changer for them. This is going to be a game changer for our borrowers. It's going to be able to put more folks in housing, as we see the need right now, and the struggle for maintaining and having some savings, to utilize for these type of situations. But we have to just go ahead and be intentional about people understanding the product totally. As we said, no manual underwrites. You got to come with green. It's got to be green, and go from there. So there will be two payments.
There will be two payments, and those payments will be separate, but there will be two payments. Correct.
Yeah, and the second payment might be a little bit lower than the first, as you can see.
Correct.
What and stuff, and kind of going from there, which is very, very important for it. So you have to prepare for this change in atmosphere. Tell us what other products y'all offer there too.
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, because we don't just offer DPA products. Yes, we're popular for doing DPA programs, but we're excellent at doing VA. We're excellent at doing conventional. We're excellent at doing FHA. So, we like to see those other loans as well. That's where we specialize in. So, if it fits the Fannie Freddie box, if it's a purchase, we're getting that done very fast. And, I think that's why a lot of partners choose me here at Gold Star, because of the products and because of speed and because of the relationship. Here at Gold Star, we want to build relationships with everyone. We don't just view our partners as loans. We view everyone as a partnership, and we want to build with everyone. So I think once, our partners realize our true intentions here at Gold Star, is we want to close your loans, but we also want to build a strong partnership with you as well.
Perfect and stuff for it. And so they have the whole government product and stuff. Do y'all offer down payment assistance for USDA?
We do not. Loans? So the only down payment assistance programs that we offer is for FHA and conventional. So that conventional will be at 4%, in DPA that the borrower can use for down payment assistance or closing costs, whichever fits them, whichever works best. And then, you'll have the option for the no down payment loan. That's the 3.5% or 5%. So if your borrower needs an additional 1.5% for closing costs, that 5% program might be the program for your borrower.
Perfect. Do you have comparable rates for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For it. So yeah, the rates are comparable for that and everything. And it's important that we take into consideration that you are getting money. It's a cost associated with utilizing that money. And
Correct.
somebody's probably gonna ask, do you have non-repayable down payment assistance?
We do not. So we don't have any non-repayable DPA programs. At this time we did. When we released this program, we did have the non-repayable, but it wasn't as compatible. A lot of my partners were finding that the repayable was a better program for them. So once we seen the numbers of what program was being selected the most, it was the repayable. So we don't have the non-repayable at this time.
So no non-repayable at the current time. We have the repayable at this current time when folks is still needing money for down payment assistance to close on a loan for the step. So the question is, how did y'all come up with conventional? I mean, we know FHA, but y'all came way out of left field with conventional. What brought that to the attention of the management there at your team?
Dan Milstein, he's an incredible guy. He just keeps track of, what's going on in the market. Like I said, he was the number one loan officer at one time. So he knew what was best for loan officers out there. So he brought that program to us here at Gold Star. And, it's been a great program. We continue to get that program done when it fits the shoe for the borrower that needs it. So, Dan Milstein, he's the mastermind behind it, but he's the reason why we have, these amazing programs for borrowers who need it.
Wow, that's awesome. And y'all cover all 50 states.
Yes.
As we said, and tell us a little bit of history about your company as well. How long you've been around and all
so
that.
Gold Star, we've been around for over 20 years. Okay. So Dan Milstein, he started as a former broker. Okay. He was actually an immigrant who came into America and he started Gold Star. So, in 2008, when the markets and all that crashes were happening, Dan Milstein was still, making it happen. So he became the number one originator at that time. And then he brokered out for us to have our wholesale channel. So now with wholesale, he's seen the success that he's had when he was a broker, and he took that, added it to our wholesale channel with all the amazing products that we have. So we've been doing this for over 20 years. So once, like I said, our owner seeing what was working best for him, he wanted to give brokers that same opportunity to take advantage of those products as well.
Wow, and that's awesome. Over 20 years, and
Over
he's
20 years.
being creative. As I said, for my non-partners here, those looking to buy homes, get this down payment assistance, you can reach out to me. My number's going across the screen, Johnnie Bazemore, 302-312-9860. We're here to engage and have that scenario. Got a next question from Valerie. What is the max DTI for the 5% DPA?
So there's no max DTI for these programs, for these DPA programs. If you can get an AUS approval, we'll get it done. So if you get that AUS approval, we'll get the DPA done for you.
Yeah, and that's what's so important, to structure your loan accordingly, talk to your borrowers. Let's look at their liabilities. Let's look at their credit situation and see how we can fit them in. Because right now we're at a situation where we need more homeowners. We need more people to be in home. Rents are getting very expensive out here, and we have to find another alternate situation to get this done as well, with the down payment assistance that we offer. I know a lot of county states offer programs too. We not discrediting those or saying don't use them, but this is another option that we have available for those folks that don't have it. As we know, some of our county and local programs, they run out of funding. They don't have it at the present time. We have viable buyers that would be able to utilize and get into a home with this program, but we need to have that available for them throughout the time when we going through. So tell us with this with the DPA. We talked about the DPA and for the FHA and conventional, and we know it's got to be AUS approval.
Correct.
We can't have any manual underwrites. We have to have a 600 credit score for FHA.
Correct.
And a 660 credit score for our conventional DPA products.
Correct.
For to get that going here. Are there any
an AUS approval for both of them? If you get the AUS approval, you're good to go to get that loan done.
Okay. So the next question: are we able to buy down rate with this, or
if the rate sheet allows that, if the rate's there to buy it down, that could be something you could get done. Because like I said, this is going to be done just like a regular FHA loan. You can buy down a rate for an FHA loan, but for the pricing specifically for the DPA, it doesn't go down to like 5% where FHA rates are right now. For the DPA, the lowest rate may be a 6.7%. And that's not something you need to buy down,
Right. Because if you're using the money, and I want folks to think about this, if you're using money to close on a loan, that down payment, the buying down that rate might not be an option at the present time. So we have to make sure that we're educated on that part of it to utilize the money accordingly for it, and that we have it so we can close. We know we want it lower, but we have a time period there, and Rishard can probably tell us how long before we can refinance that loan. Do you have a time frame? 6 months.
6 months.
6 months. 6 months for it. Val asked, is there any AMI limits for this, or?
For the conventional, it depends on the LTV, but I'll just tell you, if the LTV is 80% AMI for the conventional is what it would be for conventional. And then in certain counties, you're looking at 140% AMI.
And 40%. And break that down for us so these folks understand that a little bit better for us,
Yeah. So in certain areas, there's certain restrictions in certain areas. So with the guidelines that we have here, we have it to where in certain areas, if there's an 80% AMI, you have to fall in that category of that 80%. And same with the 140%. So if you fall in that category for that, you will qualify for that program.
Okay, perfect. So, in your area, you have income limits, average medium income for your area. So what we're saying is that every city, county might be different. You have to talk to your loan officer, give me a call to discuss those limits for where you're at, so we can kind of structure and make sure that we have a good deal in place. Because if we're outside of those limits, we can't have a deal. We can't have a whole loan that we can close if we exceed those limits there. And those limits are placed in there for a reason, to make sure we
Right.
fit within those for that. And that's for the conventional side. Is that correct?
That's for conventional. For FHA, no income limits.
For FHA, no income limits. Conventional has the limits for that AMI for that area. So you got to check your counties and states AMI for, talk to your from our partners, talk to your borrowers. For my listening audience right now, give me a call so we can discuss that wherever you might be. 302-312-9860, because we need to talk about that. And we have those income limits. Those are based on people that work and live in that area, and what's the medium income in that area for folks living around there.
Right.
And every place different. California's probably going to be higher than Delaware, and Delaware might be higher than somebody else. After listening to the information you both are providing, I'm feeling more confident about starting my journey again soon. Yeah, you got to start your journey soon, because this is a time to get back in the market, start finding that home you always thought about, being able to secure that home so you'll have some stability there. I know a lot of folks is as you hear so many words going around. Oh man, we're gonna wait for it to drop again. The election's coming up. This is gonna happen. And tell everybody, don't miss the opportunity right now. It's right here before
Right.
you. It's sitting right here, and you don't pass it up. People say, "Well, I don't have the money." We're offering you the program for that. We told you 600 credit scores for it. This is essential in this home buyer market. It
Correct.
it protects you in a way to where you can be able to have that advantage to still own a home. Rent is going up every year. It's no benefit to you as that rent go up. It just continues to cycle over and over and over here. And our real estate partners and talk about it so much. Don't stay in the same situation. We do understand that we got some folks that's going to be renting for a while, based on their situation and circumstances. But as we talking to Rashid here, with this knowledge he's given us and this information, why would we sit there and worry about down payment assistance and what's the rate and all that? We just got to get out of our current situation and understand that we have some resolve here to fulfill these needs. For all my other partners out there with EMC, man, reach out to your locals out there. Let them know that we have this so we can stabilize what we're doing. So we can go ahead and make sure that we're talking to the people and letting them know that we have resources to provide them for it and keep going on. I don't know. And Rashad, I might want to ask, do y'all have a certain amount of time for this program? Is it expiring? Is it money issues or something?
Right now, this is going to be a program we're going to have for a while. So tell all your borrowers about the 3.5%, the 5% for FHA. Spread the word. Tell your borrowers about the conventional DPA 4%. Get it out there, because this is a program we're going to have for a long time. Like you said, there's people out there who need homes. There's people out there who are looking for a down payment assistance, who doesn't know that they can get in a program and get 3.5% for down payment and 1.5% for closing costs. People don't know that. So now with this program, you can share this with everyone, because not everyone knows about this, and not everyone knows about Gold Star. And we're one of the only lenders who have this program. So you got to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. And every lender is different. I want everybody to know every lender is different. Every lender have their own niche. This is Gold Star's niche, for what they offer here. As he said, they're not out here doing all this other stuff, but they have their niche of where they find the need in the market. The leadership team over there has identified a scenario and a situation that can continue to grow and excel out here. But how do we get it done? How do we get to the table, which is the key to what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get people in homes and getting them to finance whatever. And this what separates them from any other lender that don't offer it. I want to be very clear on how the DPA work. FHA is 3.5 or 5% down payment assistance.
Correct.
Conventional is 4%. 4%.
Correct.
For it. We don't have a 2% conventional. We don't have a 1% conventional. We have a 4% conventional for it. So if you're doing 3% down, you have 1% towards closing costs. So I don't, get it mixed up. And I don't know, Rishard, people might get that mixed up. They'd be like, oh, I'm on a conventional 5% right now. Can you let me have it?
Can't happen right now.
It can't happen. It got to go FHA.
Gotta go.
You gotta go out here and find the opportunity to see how to structure it for it. And Rishard, do you, if you had to say on a ratio of 100%, which one do you all see more of, FHA or conventional?
FHA, 100% FHA. A lot of our partners they love the FHA program. I would say it's a popular program in Florida, in the East Coast. It's a popular program in the West Coast. That's one of our 4 DPA programs. That's one of our most popular programs. So we are excellent, like I said, at the conforming and government loans that aren't DPA. We specialize in those as well. But for this DPA program, we specialize in the FHA DPA, and it's one of our most popular programs that we have here at Gold Star, and we will close it fast. We close it fast every time. I put that social proof out there of how fast we close the DPAs, because it's important to know that if you have a borrower who's looking for down payment and they're on a time schedule, you can get that done in 2 weeks here at Gold Star. Very easy. And if they don't have a property, you can still get this done. You still get it done if they don't have a property.
And we talk about TBD, so we just want to we done said some terminologies here, and I don't want our non-partners not to understand, which is TBD, to be determined, is the acronym that we're using here, but it sets you up to where you're coming before you go out there and start looking for houses to get a conditional approval. What do we mean by conditional approval? It means that it's already underwritten by the underwriter. We're able to go ahead and take it out there. And like you said, it's like cash. They already verify the income, the finances, the closing. We just need to verify the house and the appraisal and that type of stuff, which is so important in this market here when you see it. If you go to any seller or listing agent and you look at it, they want that conditional approval for that loan. They want that to have, because they know that, hey, it's not, you're serious, and it's not just a loan officer approving this. It's more to it than that. But it's somebody else that's done looked at it, that's going to finalize your loan, that's going to get it to where it needs to be. And just so you understand, the underwriting is one of the final steps to your clear to close for it. And when you get to that space, you'll understand very clearly that, hey, I've been through the process. I took care of the hard stuff up front, finding those W-2s, those tax returns if you're self-employed, them paycheck stubs that we probably threw away, had to reprint, all those items that we use is getting covered up front to make sure that happened, for it. This is so important to have when you going through this and going through and preparing those loans. Loan officers take a lot of time preparing to send that stuff over to our lenders that we use, so we know that we have a good structured file. We have everything in place for that file to close and to get funded. That is so key to making sure it happens. So when we doing this, consider when you upload your documents to have them all there. Only thing I'm gonna let y'all know that with the DPA program that our partner Rishard's company Gold Star has, that it's no bundling. So their DPA is their DPA. That's it. We can't charge a package other DPAs on that. Their DPA is what they offer for it, and that's what they underwrite. Their DPA. We got to understand that, hey, they're familiar with their program that they're offering, and another DPA mixed with this can get a little confusing. And I know some of our folks have like to package them together, but on some of them you can't package. This one you can't package it together for it, and just want to make you news. But the good news is that it's another resource. They have quick turn times for it, and they're gonna fund it, for it in a manner that we need. So if y'all out there and y'all in the looking for homes, and y'all on a fence about enough money to close, give me a call, 302-312-9860. We'll see if we can structure a deal, get it over, get it moving, so we can have people in these houses that they're building out here. People are selling, people downsizing, and whatever that might be. Our audience, we have what you need. We're providing the resources to make it to that next step. And we thank Rishard so much and his company for offering that information to us, because we have to know every bank is different. Every bank has their own glitch and a niche of what they do, what they fund, how they fund it. And their niche is that FHA 3.5% and 5% and conventional 4% down payment assistance for it and stuff. FHA, and we have no income limits, long as you're approved. So your loan officer knows what that DU approval is. So for all y'all looking at for that answer, that's going to be a loan officer's terminology approval. I lost my speech right there, but that's going to be our loan officer's terminology of what that is. And for conventional, you have to be within your county and state AMI guidelines, and it's 4%. Rishard, I know we're getting close to our time, and I know you might have some last words for us to kind of for our listening audience out here, if you can.
Yes, I just wanted to say, like, I've been with the Gold Star since 2021. I believe they're a phenomenal company. The leadership's incredible. They've taught me that this business is about relationships. It's not about just receiving another loan from another business partner. It's about how can you be a value add to this person's life, and how can you help their client get into a home very quick. So once, Gold Star has installed that into me, I've understand as an account executive, my job is to make sure that you get the best pricing and that you close on time. That's my true goal as an account executive. And that's why I believe I am a successful account executive today. So, about Gold Star, we want to win for you. We're looking to win for you. That's one thing we're always looking to do. So if we can get the deal closed for you, we're going to make it happen very quick for you.
Right. And that's important. Underwriters here, they want the loan to close. They're very advantageous to make sure that everything works out. They have a scenario desk. So 100%. If y'all have a scenario, give me a call so we can touch bases, so I can shoot the scenario over to them, and we can provide them with an understanding. Let an underwriter kind of look at it and see how we're going to get it done. Don't set yourself up for failure just thinking that I'm gonna put it through and wait to see what happens, and you come back and you wasting time. You know, we need to have a solution to what we're trying to do, how we're trying to do it, and what we're trying to do for it. So that scenario desk is a very vital and important um, um, operation that they have at with them, so they can be able to kind of look through some issues or provide you with insight of what might can help you change and get to the next step of this through the whole process for it. You know, as I always said, this creative financing is always something out there for everybody. It is a way to close a deal. It is a way to get in that home. It is a way to make sure that your dream does come true, and your dream comes true
100%.
through finding some of these resources here, which you probably never heard of at your Wells Fargo or your local banks or anything like that. They might be coming up with something, but when you go cross the straight state lines and you're going across the country, you know, you got to find those products wherever you go with all of your buyers, wherever you're licensed at or wherever you're doing business. Why not have that one resource, that one-stop shop right here for when you're doing it? As I said, give me a call. We'll be glad to help you with that. So the scenario desk is manned by underwriters. They do, and you can explain that for them, Rishard.
So at the send me your scenario. I work with a head underwriter that will review every scenario that you have. So if you can just email me, I'll put my email and my contact information in the chat. But for any scenario that you have or that you are not sure about, you send me a summary of that scenario. I'll place that in front of a head underwriter, and we'll get you a response to let you know if that's something that can or cannot be done. Because like I said, the goal here is to save you time. So we can save you time. That's what we're looking. That's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, and that's what I do, you know. So for my clients, if I got a question and I need to figure something out and it's outside the guidelines, and I have to ask that question to see how they're able to make that happen, or if it's even possible. It's not always yes. I'm letting y'all know it's not always yes, and but you'll have the answer why it's not yes, which is so important to finding your situation, because it might not be right now. You might have to correct some things based on what situation you're in today. And fixing that only makes it better. It doesn't change nothing. It doesn't stop you. It just means that we have a time frame that we have to get some things resolved to do it. But when you have a scenario to provide you with the right way to do things and the stuff you need to do to get it to where it needs to close, you can't beat that. You can't go wrong. And that's why, you know, we're always finding ways, because every situation has a different scenario, and every situation has its own different hiccups and claws and stuff that happens. But we have a way to work through those items, get them done, make sure they're fun. And guess what? We're in a new house. We're there to have that housewarming party. We're here to share that experience. We're here to pass it on, blast it out to
Yes.
everybody that we have a new homeowner in the neighborhood, and that's exciting. Man, I appreciate y'all showing up. Rishard, thank you so much for taking your time, showing up for us. You know, you could have been doing a lot of other stuff, but you know,
Hey,
sharing with this
I just
and
want to I was gonna say,
okay.
I just want to say thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being here. This was a great experience for me. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share, why Gold Star is the lender to work with, why I'm the account executive you should work with. And then, like you said, like our FHA DPA program, the 3.5 and the 5%, the conventional. People don't know about that. So the fact that I have the opportunity to come on this podcast and speak about those things, that's massive. That means a lot to me. And
Yeah.
I just want to say that positivity wins. There's people out there who need a home. So as long as you know that positivity wins, you'll make it happen.
Yeah. Thank y'all for attending Creative Financing with JB again. Man, we'll see you next week. Next week be hot and heavy, as well as I'm gonna have one of my cohorts with me that we're gonna start talking about why EMC is the way. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next Tuesday.